Hi friends, so today we're going to go over Unit 5 test review. You guys have a test for Unit 5 on Monday and Wednesday of next week. And then the next class, you have a math interim test, okay? So here, I want to talk about this. Before I start, please return this sign for points if you want bonus points, okay? If you complete the whole thing, you get the full 5 bonus points if you get it signed. If you got it completed but did not sign, you get 4 points, okay? If you did some of it, did not get it signed, or let me say this, if you completed some of it and you got it signed, then you'll get maybe half points, about 3 points. No signature and barely any questions, that's probably going to give you like 1 or 2 points, okay? Depending on how many you did. So here, let's go ahead and get started. So here, on this one, it says that an athlete in gymnastics class masters 3 new skills each week. So each is talking about for 1 week, he earns 3 new skills. What I like to do when it comes to these types of questions is build a table, okay? And here, this is just a little way of like solving the question without, because on your own paper, because you can't draw on here, right? Because here, what I would do is this, I would say 1 week, that's 3, put it right here. 2 weeks, that is 6, okay? But I like to write it in a table. So for instance, here, 1 week, that's 3, 2 weeks, that is 6. So I'm just gonna go over here, plot my points, and then all I have to do is connect the dots, okay? And I'm done, okay? You can check it, and the way that you can check it is by finding the change in y over the change in x. Now remember, when we find the change in y, we're looking at the top number, the first number, and we're seeing what did we do to get to the second number. So here from 3 to 6, we have to add, and we are adding 3. From 1 to 2 on the x values, we are adding 1 from 1 to 2, okay? So that means I'm going to have 3 over 1. Now, I can use this right here, okay, as what's going to help me as a tool to help me see if I got it right, because I would look at rise over run. This is how I would look at it. If I'm rising, I'm going to go up 3. Let me write this differently. Up 3, and then right 1, okay? So here, up 1, 2, 3, and then over 1, okay? And I see that I touched both points, so I'm good. All right, let's go to number 2. Number 2, okay, again, it's saying that a butterfly can travel 1/2 miles in 1 minute. It says that y is the miles, and it says that it can travel in x minutes, okay? So let's go ahead and put this into a table. Remember that y is the miles. Oops, I put it in the wrong spot. Miles is y, minutes is x, okay? So here, looking at this, I know that I have 1.5 mile. I can also put 1/2 as 0.5, okay? And 1 minute. So if he is flying for 2 minutes, that is going to be a full mile, okay? So now let's go ahead and plot these points. So 1 and 1.5 right here, 2 and 1 right here. Now let's check our slope just to make sure that we did it right. So here we are going up, so we're adding 0.5, and here we are adding +1. This will be change in y over change in x. 0.5 over 1, which is just 0.5. However, I don't need that 0.5, so let me take that off. What I do want is to make sure that I understand that this is rise over run, okay? This is going to be up 0.5, and this is going to be right 1. So here, 0.5, and then over 1. So I check, and it's correct. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my line. Like that, okay? Now remember, in Eduphoria, I told you all this in class, but when you are doing these graphing or these plotting the points, to make a graph, you just need to pick the 2 points, and Edgy4 itself will make the line for you, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, let's go to the next page. Pause if you need to. On number 3, we have this. Now you can go ahead and just, plot these points, or we can go ahead and try to find our slope. Okay, so here I'm going to do this. So from 3 to 9, I am adding 6. And then from 1 to 3, I'm adding 2. So that means my change in y over change in x, that is going to be 6 over 2, which is going to give me 3. I'm going to leave 3 as a fraction by putting 3 over 1. Okay, remember this is rise over run. And the reason why I'm talking about rise over run in these questions is because you have to plot the points, and it's sometimes going to be easier if you do rise over run. Okay, remember we would go up 3, right 1. So let's go ahead and plot the first point. So 1, which is going to be between 0 and 2 on the x-axis. 1, 2, and 3, which is between 2 and 4. So from here, I'm going to plot the other point, which is 3, 9. So 2 and 4, I'm looking at 3, and I'm going all the way to 9, which is going to be between 8 and 10, so right here. Okay, now I'm going to go up 3, so here, from 3 to 4, that's 1, and then from 4 to 5, that's 2, 5 to 6, that's 3. So right here, I'm at up 3. Now I just have to go up 1, which is just going to go to right here. So the next point should be here. So now I'm going to check I'm going to check it one more time, because if I touch this black point, then that tells me that I'm correct. So 1, 2, 3, and then 1. And I have, so that tells me that I'm correct. That means my line is going something like this, okay? All right. I hope that this is helping. Let's go ahead and go to the next question. Okay, on this one, it says that a shark travels through the water at a constant rate. The table shows that the distance depends on number of hours. That means that y is x, distance is y and time is x. Okay, when I'm looking at a question that's like this, that is asking us to write an equation, okay, I know that I need to have it as y equals mx plus b. But what I also know is that the first and the easiest thing to find is going to be the b. All I have to do is I have to go to x, I have to look at I have to look at x, I have to look for where it's 0, and I have found it, so now I'm going to go to the y value, and that is my b. So here, this is b, okay? I can write that over here. B is 0, and I just need to find m, okay? How do we find m? Do you remember? Well, we're going to do change in y over change in x, okay? From 0 to 75, I have to add 75. From 75 to 150, again, 75 plus 75. 0 to 3 plus 3. 3 to 6 plus 3, 6 to 9 plus 3. Okay, so that means here, let me circle, y is going to be 75, x is going to be positive 3. So 75 over 3, I just have to divide. So 75 divided by 3, let me move this over here. I know that 3 times 2 gives me 6. That'd be 1. 3 times 5 gives me 15, which is 25. So 25 is our slope, okay? Now I have all the things that I need right here, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in what I need. So blank x, y equals blank x plus blank, okay? That means y equals 25x plus 0. However, you can leave this as just y equals 25x and say that that is your full answer, because you don't need to write the 0, okay? Let's go ahead and move on here. All you're doing is circling what is correct, okay? Let's go to number 5. All right, number 5. During a takeoff, an airplane ascends 300 feet for every 2 minutes and 6,050 feet every 45 minutes. this is going to be k equals y divided by x. Remember that here we are looking at this being x and this being y, because every 2 minutes it's going to be, we're looking at like its unit rate, right? So here it would be 300 divided by 2, which will be 150, okay? If I did 6,750 feet every 45 minutes, that's going to be the same. We can check it if you would like. So 6,750 divided by 45. When I do that division, I also get that K is 150. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We know that it's 150 per minute. Okay, what we want to find is asking us here, find both the feet per minute. I got that. And feet per hour. Well, how do I find feet per hour? Well, I know that there's 60 minutes in 1 hour. So what I'm going to do is multiply 150, which is what's in 1 minute, by 60. And here, what I get is 9,000 per hour. Okay, so here it would be 150 feet per minute and 9,000 per hour. On the copy that's on Canvas, I did this one incorrectly. I did not see that it said feet per hour, or maybe I didn't pay attention to that part, but that's what we would do, okay? You're not going to have a question like this on the test, though. All right, so let's go to number 6. Number 6 is really easy. All this is K is equal to y divided by x, because it is asking for the constant of proportionality. It says it relates cost in dollars, y, to number of pounds of strawberries, x. So here, let me do this in a different color so we can differentiate. Y is going to be the cost, and x is going to be the pounds. So when we do this, we're going to have this, okay? And then here, that'll be 752 over 4 pounds, okay? All I have to do is the division. 4 can go into 7 one time. That'll be 4, 3, 35. And then I know that 4 times 8 is 32. And again, it'll be times 8 to get to 32. So 1 and 88. This would be dollars, and the thing on Edufor, you would not write the dollar sign, just 1 and 88. Okay, let's look at number 7. Stop when you need to. A recipe says to use 4 cups of flour to make 56 cookies. What is the constant of proportionality that relates the number of cookies made, y, to the number of cups of flour used, x? So here, y is 56 cookies, and x is 4 cups of flour. So here, let's rewrite that, okay? It'll be K is equal to y divided by x. Y is 56 cookies. X is 4 cups. So now I just have to divide 56 divided by 4. 4 can go into 5 one time. And that'll be 16. So K is equal to 16. Now we have to talk about what this means, okay? We're talking about 16. Does it make sense? I would ask yourself, does it make sense that we are looking at 16 cups of flour per 1 cookie? Or does it make more sense to say 16 cookies per 1 cup of flour? I think it makes more sense that we're able to make 14 cookies per cup of flour. So that's what that means. 16 cookies per cup. Okay. All right, let's go to number 8. Number 8 says that scientists are preparing 2 rockets, okay, to be launched. The equation y equals 9,000x represents the number of miles y that rocket ship A flies, okay? So rocket ship A has an equation of y equals 9,000x, okay? Then it says that rocket ship B flies 95,000 miles in 20 hours. it wants us to determine the constant of proportionality, okay? And then it wants us to tell which one is faster by how many miles, okay? So let's look at this. If we're looking at y is equal to kx, I know that k is what I'm looking for. So that means that for A, my k is 9,000. Okay, now B doesn't give me an equation, but it does tell me some information. It says 95,000 miles in 20 hours. Well, I know that hours has to be x and miles has to be y. So we would set this up as y over x, which would be 95,000 divided by 20. I can take off 1 0, and then I can just divide 9,500 by 2. 2 can go into 9 4 times. That would be 8. It can go into 15 7 times. That would be 14. And then into 10 5 times, which would be 0. So here, my k is going to be 4,750 for B. Okay? Now, it's asking us which one is faster. I see that we went further with rocket ship A per minute versus rocket ship B per minute. So what I want to know now is by how much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 9,000 minus 4,750. That would be 5 here. That would be 2 here and 4 here. So 4,250 more is what rocket ship A went faster by. So rocket ship A is faster because it can travel 4,250 miles more per hour. All right, let's go to number 9. Number 9 is another y equals kx. Y equals kx. It's a k equals divide. I just had like a little brain fart there. K equals y divided by x. Whew, that was tough. Okay. So let's look at this. Cost of 4 pounds of lemons is $5.16. It's telling us that the cost in dollars is y, and the number of pounds is x. So let's go back and look at this. Cost is this, and pounds is that. So let's set this up. Y divided by x. Y is going to be 5 and 16. X is going to be 4, and I just have to divide this. So 5.16 divided by 4. 4 can go into 5 one time. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 can go into 36 9 times. So that would be 36 there. And then I'm just going to bring up that decimal. So this is going to be 1 and 29. And we're thinking about what it is per. So it's going to be $1.29 per pound. Okay. So here, $129 per pound. All right, let's go to number 10. Again, pause if you need to. A car travels 210 miles in 3.5 hours. The distance that the car travels is proportional. Constant proportionality, it relates distance, which is y, and hours, x. So here, distance, which is 200 miles, is y, and time, which is 3.5 hours, is x. Okay, so now all I have to do is put y over x to find my k. That is going to be 210 divided by 3.5 hours. 35 can go into 210 how many times? Let's try 5, just to go with it. 15, 16, 17, 35 times 6, 30, 18, 19, 20, 21. So it is 35 times 6, which gives me exactly 210. I have to move the decimal, go up here, and then over 1, so that would be 60. So this would be the car travels 60 miles per hour. Okay. All right, let's go to number 11, which is on the next page. Again, pause if you need to. So here, these are really easy too. These are going to be following the constant of proportionality formula, which is k is equal to y divided by x. So let's look at the first one. Okay, it is saying I'm going to box the y. So y is going to be cost in dollars. And then x is going to be pounds. So again, cost in dollars and pounds, which is y. So here, y over x, y is going to be 24 over 6. 24 divided by 6 is going to be 4. So that means that k is 4. Let's look at the next one. The total cost of 2 concert tickets is $20. Y is cost in dollars. So that means that this is, that $20 is y. And then x concert tickets, okay, which is going to be x. So y over x, because this is the formula we use, that is going to be 20 divided by 2, which is just going to be 10. Then the last one, it says y, the number of miles run. And if I look over here, the miles run is 4. So if we're doing y over x, that is going to be 4 over 1, because it says 1 hour, and hour is x. Okay, so that's just going to be 4. Oops, wrong one. Meant to. Okay, let's go to number 12. Pause if you need to. Number 12 says that the table below shows the relationship between the side length. All I'm doing here is finding the constant of proportionality. So again, k is equal to y over x. Okay, and I am taking, I have to first do this. I know that this is x and this is y. Okay, 24 divided by 3, that is going to be 8, which is b. Okay, all right, let's go to the next question. Number 13. Okay, so number 13, these two I absolutely love, but let's rewrite this. So y equals 1/3 x plus 4. There's a couple of ways that we can do this. The first thing I want to do is I want to circle my y-intercept, and then I want to write it into either a table, or I want to just write the x and y value. I know that if my y-intercept is 4, that's the y value, the x has to be 0, okay? Now here is where the fun part happens, okay? You can do a table, okay? Or you can just plot this point. If I plot this point, I'm going to go on 0 on the origin, and I'm going to go up 4 to right here. This is my first point. From there, I can either use the rise over run, which will be up 1, right 3, or I can look at this and I can say, okay, this is changing y, this is changing x, so I'm going to add 1 to y to 4 to make 5, and I'm going to add 3 to x to make 3. And I have my 2 points, okay? You can do this either or. If I use the table, I just plot 3/5, okay? If I use this right here, okay, I just go up 1 and then over 1, 2, 3, and there we go, okay? Either way works. I want you to understand both ways. Really stop and pay attention to this part, okay? Now, all I have to do is connect my points, okay? And there we go. All right, let's go to the next question. Now, on the next question, I'm just going to use the information that I have from the equation, okay? All right, I know that this is my y-intercept, which is going to be 0, 3. So I'm going to go ahead and label 0, 3. And then I'm going to use rise over run, which is going to be -2 over 1. Now, anytime that you have a whole number as your coefficient or your slope, you have to put that over 1 to make your rise over run. Okay, so now all I'm going to do is go up 2. So 1, 2, oops, not up to. What are we doing? We're going down to. Let's write this over here. Down to right 1. Okay, so 1, 2, and then over 1. So here's my second point. Okay, I can try that again. I don't have to because it's just asking me to pick 2 points. But if I were, I would go again 1, 2, and then over 1. So my next point would be right here. Okay, let's go ahead and connect these 2 dots. This is my line. Okay. All right, let's go to number 15. Okay, so here it's asking us to create an equation in the form of y equals mx plus b. Okay, you will see that this is right here. You just have to pick the correct pieces, okay? First thing that we want to do is look at our x and then circle our b and label it. I can also write it over here. B is -7. I just need m now. To find m, I'm going to look at from -7 to -5.5. Now, if you can see the pattern, great. But if you're looking at these negative numbers and decimals and you're like, what do I do? Let me show you a little trick, okay? So change in y over change in x, all we're doing is taking -5.5 minus -7, okay, over 3 minus 0, because we're doing y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1, okay? So now here, let's take a look at this. This becomes a positive. So now I have 2 different signs, so I'm actually going to subtract 7 and 5.5. So this is going to be 1.5. I'm going to write this down here, 1.5 over 3. Now, if I look at my answer choices down here, okay, I see that there is no fraction, so I'm going to have to divide. So 1.5 divided by 3, 3 can go into 15 5 times, exactly 15, and I'm just going to bring up that decimal, so that is going to be 0.5. So now, let's plug in our answers into this equation. This is going to be y equals 0.5x minus 7. Now the equation, the original equation says plus b, but you can write minus 7. This is our final answer. Over here it would be y equals 0.5x minus 7. Okay. All right, let's look at number 16. Number 16 says that a person can drive 200 miles, okay, in 4 hours. This is constant of proportionality, so all this is k equals y over x. And we plug in the information where we need. It doesn't tell you what's what, but let's be honest. We know that we're looking at per hour, so this is going to be your x and this is going to be your y, okay? So 200 miles over 4, okay? We're dividing now. 4 can go into 25 times. That would be 20. I don't know what I just wrote there. And then there. So our k is going to be 50. All right, let's look at the last one. Okay, so here it says that a snail crawls 9 3/4 feet in 3/4 feet. It says that the distance in feet is proportional to the time in minutes, and it's asking us what is the constant of proportionality that relates distance y to time or minutes x, okay? So we're doing y over x, we're doing this, okay? Here, I know that distance is y, so that's going to be this because it says feet. And then x is the time, so this says minutes, so that's going to be that. Okay, we're going to put 9 3/4. However, I look at 3/4 and I'm like, I don't want to work with fractions. How can I make this to something that's easy to work with? Well, 3/4 is 3 out of 4 quarters, so 9/75. And then 0.75, right? So now I just have to divide this, okay? So how many times can 75 go into 97? 1 time. That would be 25. Bring down the 5. So now let's try 75 times 5. Okay, 5 times 5 is 25. 5, 35, 36, 37. Did I go too far? I think I did. So let's try 75 times 3. 5 times 5 is 15. 21, 22. And there we go. 225. So 75 times 3 gives me 255. Yeah, I think I said this wrong. Hold on. That is 7 minus 5, which is 2. I knew what I was doing. It's just I wrote the wrong number. It's 2. I think I might have said 5 too. It's 225. Oh, Lord. Okay, let's go back over here. So this is going to be 13. So that tells me that my answer is 13 miles per minute. Okay? All right. I wish you all the best of luck on this test. You guys have got it. Okay? And please study. Please, please, please study. Again, I had tutorials this morning. I would do tutorials on Monday, but I will have a meeting, so I'm unable to host tutorials on Monday. Bye. I love you all. Have a good rest of the weekend. Enjoy all of your candy that you got this week. Okay? Bye.